starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer day. Thighs in the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hills sketch the trees and the daffodils. What's up, Shotty? 80 Day at Florida. What's up? Hi. Welcome in. Tonight is tonight is the one and only historical presidential debate between Joe Biden and what's the other guy? Donald Trump. And it's gonna be fun to watch. On the one hand, you've got a. I'm not into politics. I don't support, one way or the other. I really don't get into politics at all. Um, can you check your comments on your new vids for the fart I requested? Yeah. So yeah, the presidential debate is tonight, and it's gonna be. I think it's historical because two the two people debating have both held presidential power. They and they're debating each other. It's it's uh it's pretty cool. But like I said, I don't get into politics. I don't get into politics. La da da da. Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day, with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hills sketch the trees and the daffodils. The legend is back. What's up, Jack Mason 864 in the house? Oh. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I've been watching you since day one of the Fart a Day in TikTok. That's pretty sweet. That's awesome. Eliza Greenwell says hi. Hello. What's up, Rose Flower? I'm doing good. I'm wondering if I'm allowed to consume this beverage on live. I don't know, so I'm just gonna consume it over here. Mmm. Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Live or live? Fart binge. What's up? As long as it's not endangering in any way. With eyes that know the darkness in Shadows on the hills sketch the trees and the daffodils. Colors on the snowy linen land. Now I understand what you tried to say to me. How you suffered for your sanity. Fly me to the moon? Well, heck yeah, I can. Hold on a second. I just gotta take my medications here. You want an iPhone 15 Pro? Me too. Fly me to the moon. Here we go. I can't play the music for you guys, but I'll be listening to it on my AirPods. So I'm gonna put fly me to the moon. Here we go. Me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Bow, 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 bow. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, in other words, I love you. Yeah. Thank you, Roy. Yeah. Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day, with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. In other words, baby, kiss me. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. What did you have for dinner? Nothing. I had a couple pieces of sliced turkey breast. I had four to be exact. Four slices of sliced turkey breast, and probably like 2 or 3 tablespoons of G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce, and that's all I've eaten all day. Besides my beverage here, which I don't know if it's allowed to show on the live or not. What's up, Jordan? Hello. In other words, make it for me. Fill my heart with song and let me play forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. Yeah, so tonight, in a little bit, at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, or is it? Yeah, it's. Let me turn on the TV. It's 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Is the presidential debate. Oh, apparently you can watch the presidential debate on YouTube, which I'm about to do on the TV right now. Oops, I pressed the button. Don't want to press the button. Live in 6 minutes. 56,000 waiting. Live presidential debate. I'm not political one way or the other, but I like to watch. Sometimes I like to watch this sort of thing. You've got this old senile Joe Biden. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't follow politics. I don't watch the news. So I don't have a stance one way or the other. But in my perception, Joe Biden's this old guy who can barely walk, and he's just too old to be president again, in my opinion. Then you've got this crook apparently who just got convicted of all these whatevers is running for president on the other side. I mean, what the heck are you supposed to do in a political situation like that? Who the heck are you supposed to choose over those two loony bins? We need you to be president. Yes, and I started a campaign a while ago, Juanito for President 2024, but I don't know whatever happened to it. I never did anything with it. But I don't think I'd be a good president. I don't think I would. But fill my heart with song and let me live in 4 minutes. 63,000 watch waiting in the queue to watch the presidential debate on YouTube. Ooh. He got convicted over money. I think so. It's dumb. And what's weird, I was a fan of Ben Carson. Um, Ben Carson, if you know who that is. I was a fan of him for president, and now he's totally backing Donald Trump. And I'm like, I don't know what to say because I liked Ben Carson, and now he's backing Donald Trump. Live in 3 minutes. Funny story. One time I actually almost ran over what's his name? Senator from Utah. Can't remember his name, but he was coming out of the airport and he was crossing the street, and I almost hit him with my car. I mean, I don't keep up with politics, but I can't stand by it. Yeah, I mean, okay, here we go. Hopefully, I don't get my live shut off for like airing this or whatever. I don't know. I'm not showing it. I'm not showing the thing. I'm just gonna have it on TV. Be watching it and giving commentary to the good folks of YouTube. I'm 900 pounds. Help. I have bumps on my eyelids. Okay. I don't know how much of help I could be. Countdown to debate. I thought they were. Oh, it starts at 8:30. Starts the pre-show. Oof. The first time a sitting and former president have debated ever in history. That's why it's such a big deal. What we're told you will not do is announce any major policy or personnel decisions. As for Donald Trump, allies urging the former president to do the opposite. Focus on policy-driven talking points like inflation, immigration, and crime, all areas they feel Donald Trump is much stronger than Biden.
For President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump, the pressure is on to address voters' key concerns.
They cheated like dogs. They cheated like nobody's ever cheated before.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Where'd everybody go? I got one person left.
The false claim that the 2020 presidential election was stolen.
What they did in 2020 is disgraceful.
He's also openly embraced the rioters who stormed the Capitol on January 6th.
I call them the J6 hostages, not prisoners. I call them the hostages. What's happened? And it's a shame.
Even though Trump has repeated these claims for years,
What's up,
60%
Kai?
of US adults believe correctly that Biden won the election
What's
legitimately.
up, Kai?
The same number who believe that just
Trump is so
before his
funny. He
inauguration.
had this world under control, though.
January 6 rioters, though, are much more complicated.
Yeah,
According to a poll that was released
I
on
mean,
Thursday,
it was
with
definitely
national
better
Democrats were
under
much less
Trump
likely to believe
than
that
it is
participants
Biden. I
were
mean,
mostly violent than they were
look at how
2
much
years
stuff
ago.
costs.
Democrats
So
and
much.
independents have been much more
Like,
consistent in their views.
ah,
Meanwhile, as the oldest sitting president,
it's crazy.
98 years old.
And I lost my discounted internet. Thanks, Joe Biden. Thank you, Joe Biden, for making me lose my discounted internet through the Affordable Connectivity Program, which ended, by the way. Inflation is so terrible, Biden is the worst president, in my opinion. Yeah, what are you gonna do, you know?
He's even tried turning it into a joke.
I was graduating from high school 300 years ago.
Still, polling shows that voters are concerned. 81% of U.S. adults think Biden is too old to serve another term.
81%.
55% say the same about Trump. And then there is
But this,
abortion.
again,
That's an issue
this information
that
I'm
dramatically shifted
I'm
on
watching right now is all from CNN.
Trump said he was
More pro-choice.
then, as president, he spoke out in favor of a national 20-week abortion ban with few exceptions.
It's all coming from CNN. He's delusional.
To pass this important law and send it to my desk for signing.
He has since changed course, speaking out now in support of states determining their own laws.
So we have abortion where everybody wanted it from a legal
Streaks
standpoint,
with the
and
group.
whatever they decide must be the law of the land. In this
Who are
case,
you voting
the
for?
law of the state.
Only
Vote for the
37% of
orange.
US adults agree with Trump's latest stance.
Who am I voting for? I have no idea if I'll even vote, to be honest. I don't even know if I'm registered to vote in the area I live in right now. I don't know.
49% of
I don't have a clue.
Americans support federal laws to
This is
ensure
my first year I can vote. I'm gonna vote for corn here.
While recent job numbers and slowing inflation point to a strong
So yeah, I
economy,
don't
Americans
get
just
into
aren't voting.
politics.
Still, the president
Unless they get rid of the electoral
better
college,
economy than
I
Trump.
don't believe my vote counts. That's just me. That's just my personal belief. But to each their own, you know.
It is still higher than when Trump was in office, and Biden has acknowledged that consumers, they are feeling the squeeze.
You know, prices are still too high because of what I call greedflation and shrinkflation. I'm calling on corporations to pass their savings on to consumers, for God's sake. We're making real progress.
The polls show that the economy is still the top issue for Americans, and Biden is losing this argument to his opponent. More Americans trust Trump over Biden to handle both the economy and inflation. On these potential vulnerabilities for both
I
candidates,
personally
the
don't
question remains, will their arguments ultimately
much
win
better option.
voters over?
Well,
Yeah,
the 17
I agree with that statement, Carol.
The rules of debate so
I have
that
a
when they
pet
watch it,
parrot
they
named
understand
Charlie.
how President Biden
That's
and
cool.
President Trump will be engaging with each
Pet
other.
parrot.
Tomorrow night,
Get the
just
old
after
hag
9
out of
President
office.
Biden will appear from the right side of the
Yeah.
street. President Trump will appear from the left side of the street. The podiums are 8 feet apart, directly across from them, the model, Tina J. Tapper and Dana Bash. Now, a reminder, this is a television school. There's no audience. Candidates will have 2 minutes to answer questions and 1 minute for responses and rebuttals. At the moderator's discretion, there may be an additional minute for follow-ups, clarifications, or responses. So I just want to know how much time is left to speak. Attached to the camera is a video of any candidate review.
Presidential debate.
The lights show yellow, there are 15 seconds left for the candidate's answer or response. The lights flash red, there are 5 seconds left. And when they display solid red, the time is up. At that point, the candidate's microphone will be turned off. The other candidate will have their microphone turned on. My colleague, Victor Blackwell, has more on that.
Thank you, Bill. If we go
Oh
back
wow, so they're gonna like
to
turn off their
green
microphones
lights,
after the time.
When they're on, they signal to the candidate his microphone is on. When the green lights are off, they signal to the candidate his microphone is off. Now I want to give you a sense of what it will look like for viewers at home if the candidate whose microphone is off interrupts the candidate whose microphone is on. So I'm standing at one podium. I'll ask Bill to
That's
come
pretty
in.
cool. They can't interrupt one
So let's
another.
say I'm answering a question. My light is green and I'm speaking. Phil's microphone is on and his green lights are not illuminated. He's going to interrupt me as I'm speaking, and this is what it will sound like. My volume remains constant, while Phil's interruption can be difficult to understand. Let's try the opposite. My microphone is now on. Victor's microphone is off. He's
Joe
going to
Biden in
interrupt
the
me.
chat.
My volume remains constant.
Do you remember Debate Me? Yeah, I remember Debate Me.
Understand. CNN's production team has shared this demonstration with the campaigns earlier today, and we're sharing it with you, our viewers, so everyone fully understands.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So they're gonna be muting they're gonna be muting their microphones so they can't interrupt one another while they're talking. That's pretty cool, I
Let's
think.
follow one of the logistical details of this, which is that if it's not your turn to speak as a candidate, then your microphone is going to be muted. But I was thinking about it and I thought, your microphone might be muted, but if you're speaking, the audience may not hear you, but you could still be distracting to the person next to you, whose microphone the audience could hear. I mean, what do you think this could create?
I think this is a really interesting experiment.
Raise your hand if you're voting for Trump. He took a break from social media and YouTube for a while and all that stuff. To free his mind, he recently came back to YouTube. Oh, that's cool.
They don't want me to have a spirited debate, so they turn my mic off so that I can't answer. But I would assume that the format, often because of issues, the candidates will each come in with a strategy. If things are going well, we need something to complain about. It's usually about the moderators or the format. It's an age-old form in politics that they take a shot. That's Chris Wallace, he was there providing. Last time you go back to
BRB.
campaigns before. It's a format that we at CNN think was very necessary because it just chaos last time. It was shouting over each other. The American people deserve to have answers on all of these legitimate questions. But listen, I mean, you go in with rules, but these two candidates agreed to the rules. They also agree to break them. And if that happens, that's an interesting challenge for the moderators. Not that maybe they are very talented, they know what they're doing. But it is a challenge. You say, well, you signed a paper, you agree to the rules, and you say, okay, John, are you sure? Because you just ripped up your plan. Go for it.
People say, how are you preparing? You're preparing by taking questions from you and others. If you think about it, we had a great meeting just now in Philadelphia with at the shop. You saw that with all the wonderful people. And we just left Faith and Freedom in D.C. And that was incredible. We had an incredible crowd.
Governor actually telling there that while he's talking about how he prepares, which is to sort of have conversations with people and do interviews, he brings up the crowd and the incredible, he uses the word incredible, talk about crowd splice. And he's going to be feeling it in that room. What do you think about his style of preparation, such that he's always done it, in this environment where the mics get cut and he has no audience? He might get very bored in that room. There's only 3 people.
Well, keep in mind, Aaron, the most important thing for this race, for these candidates, is not all the people that are already commenting or made up their minds. It's just those people in the swing states who are independent or persuadable. And if Donald Trump, because of the reasons you just mentioned, has to dial back his tone 10% or 15% or 20%, for those people who are wondering, is Joe Biden too old? Is he wrong on immigration? Is he wrong on wokeness? Is he wrong on crime? Or
Wokeness. That's another thing, like
when if they see a more
wokeness.
Donald Trump for that subsegment of the
I
election,
don't get it.
it might actually be helpful.
We know that he has been preparing for this debate.
What's up?
in the way
Debate
he does,
me
policy sessions,
in the
his process,
house.
behind the podium matches. But whether he's going to absorb what he's learning there, and whether he is going to come in, interrupting President Biden less than he did in 2020 in their first debate, it is an open question because he does what he wants to do.
I just want listening else to say the rally.
How should I handle him? Should I be tough and nasty? Or should I be, she say, no, should I be tough and nasty and just say you're the worst president in history? Or should I be nice and calm and let him speak?
I mean, do you think
sort of change in the moment, just riffing how he feels in the moment, or is it something he kind of thinks of as he's going to bed that night?
Hey bro, I used to love streams and I'm looking forward again to watching your videos. Oh, thank you, Debate Me, yeah. Thank you.
Whatever's on his mind is often what he does with these crowds, and it could be anything. It could be, he's protesting everyone about BP at various fundraisers, and this is along the same line.
Word up, come and put your hands up, get some ketchup for your hot dog. Snoop Doggy Dogg, stars in the sky, shining bright and high, make you wanna fly.
I would be very surprised if he's anything other than that.
Rick Flores owns a handful of restaurants in Battleground, Arizona. Is unimpressed with
A
both.
lot of people don't like Trump because he's honest. This is how he is. Yeah, and I just don't get it. On the one hand, I don't trust the media is my thing. I don't trust what I hear on TV. I don't trust it because I just I don't have I don't know what to believe, you know.
Yes, President Biden has his share of true believers.
On the one hand, you know, you've got two extremes basically. You know, people are like, you're like, oh, Trump is this crook and he's blah 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 blah, and then on the other side, you've got people that are like, oh, it was all a big, you know, everyone was out to get him, you know, and he's a good guy, and I don't get it. So I don't follow politics, but I don't trust the media, so that's why I don't watch TV a whole lot.
And in other places, Biden must dominate. Like Atlanta.
Everything
The
here
media
in Florida
lies.
is so expensive.
Yeah.
I can only afford so much, you know, with whatever job I find.
Even strong Biden supporters complain of supermarket sticker shock.
It's just me and my wife, and it's $200 every time I go to the grocery store.
The president's
$200 every time you go to the grocery
No matter
store.
how many Taylor Swift references you make, you'll never understand us.
A bigger Biden problem with younger voters is anger at his handling of the Hamas-Israel conflict.
I don't think nobody wants to vote for Biden. If Biden wants to get certain votes, he needs to change course.
Trump, though, also has a long list of weaknesses that could be debate flashpoints. Joe London just left the Republican Party and registered as an independent.
I have more of a positive vision, just a different emphasis, and
A lot of my friends asking for Maya Miller Part 2 for her because she got married. Wondering if you could do that in the future.
But it really hasn't been
Maya
about
Miller
Trump.
Part 2 for her.
January 6th is an obstacle.
I remember watching it.
Yeah, Debate Me.
Couldn't believe that it was happening.
You can just make a comment on my latest video
That Trump didn't say something.
in there. I don't know which one is my latest, but I'll look at it later and I can do that for you.
This is a Georgia Christian conservative.
Maya Miller Part 2
about
for
Trump's character.
Honestly, I wish there was another candidate that would have come through the primaries instead of being just, Donald Trump.
Yes, many minds are already made up. But for those with doubts,
Already
about
did.
both
Oh, you
Biden
did?
and Trump, this is a giant.
Let me
test.
see if I can find it.
Joining us to talk more about this right now, though, is CNN senior political analyst Mia Malika Henderson and Washington bureau chief for USA Today, Susan Page. And definitely relevant today, Susan moderated vice presidential debate between Mike Pence and Kamala Harris in 2020. It's great to see you guys. Susan, let's do a little compare and contrast. I'll start with you. Reasons that you think going.
Okay, I see it.
All those voters
I see it. Debate me. Yeah,
over many months.
that will be my next part.
Joe Biden might have an advantage this evening.
Well, he might have an advantage because he has a demeanor that doesn't put off voters. Donald Trump can have a demeanor that does put off voters, and also because I think that Biden could have a good night because expectations have been placed pretty low, including by Donald Trump over the last several months.
Mr. Bro, happy I'm finally back. Yeah, welcome back.
And mentally blanking a queue to be president. So if Biden shows up and does as he did at the State of the Union address, voters may say, yeah, he looks like he's fit for another 4 years.
Literally, Donald Trump, I think, was on social media that says that Joe Biden was the worst debater of all time. I think was how it was said at one point, and obviously that is true. So then on the flip side, what are the reasons that you think Donald Trump may have an advantage this evening?
Listen, it's old.
So you're watching the debate tonight? Yeah, that's what I have the I'm watching it. This is on YouTube, and this is the the CNN pre-show, whatever, on CNN's YouTube page.
That voters have around the economy,
So,
inflation, rising prices.
yeah, I'm gonna watch the debate and give my live commentary on the debate while I'm watching it, and I'm gonna do it right here. That's what I'm doing tonight.
For 50 years, wages
Joe
are
Biden.
faster than prices, and now we have among the lowest inflation rates of any.
I did a
country in
fart for Joe Biden once, I think.
Even further. We're fighting
I
the
think
low
I did.
healthcare at cost, education costs, to give just a little more breathing room. We're just getting started, second term. Want to keep it going, to level the playing field by making the wealthy begin to pay their fair tax.
The minute crooked Joe Biden shuffles out the door, I will rapidly rebuild the greatest economy in the history of the world. Look, we have the greatest economy in history. Everybody here, where you have a small business or if you had a job, you're getting more than you ever made, and we have no inflation. Low taxes,
Yeah,
low interest rates.
So I support the changing of cannabis to a Schedule 2 or whatever. It shouldn't be a controlled substance, a Schedule 1 at least. Like change the classification of it so it can be legal everywhere in the United States. That's what I support, and they should have that in the debate tonight. That's what I say.
And it is a messaging and branding problem more than anything else, because the economic policies that Democrats champion are popular, and some of the Republican policies economic policies that Republicans champion are not. Yet, if you ask the average American, they still want to hand their pocketbook and their budgets over to Republicans to handle, and Democrats just have to figure that out.
We know Donald Trump is doing an attack Biden on immigration. Here's what Trump said about during his most recent rally.
Yeah, bro, honestly, I agree on your statements.
We
Yeah.
have the safest border in the history of our country. Now we have the unsafest border in the history of the world. I mean, how stupid is an open border? But equally, and to be honest with you, much more importantly, open borders, because you have millions of people coming in, and they're coming from all of these places and causing tremendous damage.
But Kate, for all of the unpredictability people attribute to Donald Trump, you know this is coming from the Biden team. What are you telling the president if you're in that room?
Go right back at it. You say, we had solutions on the table, you threw them aside, you said you'd rather have this as a political issue. I think there is a lot of evidence for Biden in that argument. I don't think he should be, I feel like he's
me.
back on his heels on this. I think he can certainly and should talk about what he's done, the steps he's taken in the last few months in particular. We can talk about the fact that on day one, in the Oval Office, he put forth a comprehensive plan, sent it to Congress. He is consistently
Whoa.
on this issue.
That was a good one. Hopefully that made your day.
I want this as a political issue. People don't like that. I would say about this issue is maybe a little counterintuitive. They don't like the tougher measures, no question. But they don't like a lot of Trump's rhetoric around this issue when he says that immigrants poison the blood of our country and, they didn't like family separation. So there can also be some benefit, I think, for Biden in getting Trump going on this issue because Trump has a ton of things that really turn off those voters who are going to be decisive in this election.
Matt, how are you, if you're the Trump team, framing this issue? They're up by double-digit points on this poll. Absolutely. They think it's one of the best issues, if not the best issue.
No.
But do they need to be careful about how they play? I think in some respects, look, the opportunity to keep it on this issue just in the last 5 years. Always, for a long time, we'd always talk about when it came to immigration, there was border security, but there was also some sort of legal status, citizenship conversation. That had been pushed aside because this issue was so potent.
Yeah, I came back when you said that was a good one. What did you say before that? I just burped like this really loud, awesome belch. And I was like, whoa, that was a good one. Because it was. It was a good burp.
And so I feel like, again, bring it back to immigration as much as possible. Crime, safety, immigration, those are the safe grounds. They would get it back. what are these very different approaches to preparing for this critical CNN debate tell you about the candidates?
It tells me a lot just about who they are as people, how they approach moments like this, but it also tells me that their campaigns are setting up a prep here for each of them that they think will succeed best for them. I mean, if Donald Trump is not going to succeed at doing a mock debate and having side-by-side candidates and having people play I necessarily why would you put your candidate in that position? You want to make sure your candidate is prepared for the debate as they are going to communicate on the stage. And so the fact that they have totally different approaches, that probably doesn't surprise many Americans. I think you can see day in and day out as they present themselves to the country that they kind of have different approaches about how they go out there and communicate their message. What is the same for them, Wolf, are the enormous high stakes in this debate. They both have a lot of opportunity here, but also great risk on this stage. This is a debate earlier than ever before, and this is an opportunity for them to really focus.
Bean Burrito Shitfest 3000. Yeah, so Garrett actually came up with that name. That was his idea. Garrett's a buddy of mine, and he asked for that part, and so I did it for him. And he named it himself, so I was like, cool, I got you, bro.
Than you were 4 years ago. We need fundamental change in this country, and that's what I'd like to bring.
If I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'll be in jail.
Those three moments and many more are the kinds my institute has studied and the voter's reactions to them for more than 3 decades. Longtime pollster and communications strategist Frank Luntz.
Yeah. The other interesting theory is the world flat or round? Like, that's still debated. I don't understand that. But then on the other hand,
You know, it's very frustrating. When I walk here, I say
like,
to some of your staff,
we really don't know much about what's around us
because voters see
outside
it differently.
our Earth.
On the score points,
We
they
don't know very much at all about it.
And they're actually not focused precisely
So,
on detail. They're looking at the
there's that.
personality. They're looking at the presentation. Do I trust them? Do I like them? Can I see them as president? Is this someone I want to have in my living room every night for the next 4 years? And in the end, it's the reason why Donald Trump lost that debate with Joe Biden 4 years ago, and why he beat Hillary Clinton. And that line there, all the pundits said, oh my God, we're going to be a banana republic. He says he'd throw her in jail. And every network went nuts on him. Our focus group said,
That guy's hair looks
he's
weird.
actually going to hold her accountable. This
He's
is
got
exactly
weird
what
hair.
we're
I wish you
looking
could
for
see it,
politics.
but he's
So
got
he was a
weird looking
disaster
hair.
in
The guy
2020. He was
on
really
the
good in
TV now.
2016.
Well, when you look at those two moments, I'm sure there were some voters who did not like that moment. This political opponent clearly saying he put his
7
opponent
minutes
in jail,
and 18
because he has
seconds
a
countdown to
But
debate.
when you actually look at this, you write in this and say that the key moments that will have the greatest impact on the remaining undecided voters, which is obviously what we're all paying attention to here,
Chocolate
are those in which the
rich.
candidates attack each other in defining
think
ways
so.
or undermine the political case that each wants to present to Americans. Viewers will quickly decide whether the accusations are fair and the response is effective. I mean, if you're trying to appeal to these independent, undecided voters Thursday night, what does that look like?
By the way, it's only 4%. It's only in 3 states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. And I'd be asking a rhetorical question, just like Reagan did. Is inflation higher or lower today than it was 4 years ago? Is the border safer or less safe? Do you feel more or less secure? If I'm Donald Trump and if I'm Joe Biden, do you really want to go back to that chaos? Do you really want to go back to, I'm going to do that for 3 or 4 times, either ask a question or make a statement where you know the public at home is nodding their heads, yes. The problem is Trump wants to own Joe Biden, and he's got no self-control whatsoever. And in Joe Biden's case, he really hasn't been out of the ex-president.
Yeah, so what's up, everybody? I don't know who's in here or whatnot, but I'm watching the presidential debate. Starts in about a little less than 6 minutes, and we're doing some live commentary. Nightmare, what's up, yo?
A football game, and you're there, and you can hear the audience, or you're watching on TV, or you can see the refs and their calls. When you look at this, there's no audience. For a moment like that, when Trump said about Hillary Clinton, there would have been no reaction to that inside that room if there had been no audience. If there's that, if the mics are being cut off, and maybe we'll still see them talking in the two shots, but not actually hear them, how much of a difference do you think that'll make?
Huge. It's a big deal. These rules do not help Donald Trump. He was so eager to get Joe Biden into a debate that he said yes to anything. If I've been advising him, I would have said, don't, not this one. Yes, you want to debate him, but not through these rules. You need an audience. And second, he's so, he has no faith in Biden even being able to complete a sentence. So week after week, he made fun of him, and now he's trying to reverse that. Now he's trying to raise that.
This year's, you know, it was going to be jacked up on drugs. This was 2020's always going to have these ridiculous accusations. The other thing though is these two men are probably the best known politicians in U.S. history. To see them go up on the stage, everyone knows everything about them. Is there anything really left to say to change voters' minds?
Not much. 70% of Americans do not want these two people. They're upset that it's Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. In the end, I believe we're going to be voting those final undecided voters, not on the candidate they like, but on the candidate they dislike the least. And that's why the democracy is so challenged right now. We're not happy with our choices, so we're trying to vote for the least worst evil.
CNN's Jeff Zeleny brings us now this look at how much the United States, the world, and these two candidates have changed since they first took the stage.
The historic rematch between Joe Biden and Donald Trump is anything but a rerun. A vastly different set of issues are driving this race as the president and former president come face to face for the first debate of the 2024 campaign. 4 years since they shared a stage.
The worst president America has ever had. Come on.
In 47 months, I've done more than you've done in 47 years, Jeff.
Feels like an upside-down lifetime ago, back when the coronavirus pandemic was raging.
You have to understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on it, you know, when I think I need it. This is his economy. He's shut down.
In the Biden-Trump sequel, an entirely new fight has been brewing on the campaign trail.
We could end up in World War III with this person. He's the worst president ever.
And in two acts.
This election is between a convicted criminal who's only out for himself and a president who's fighting for your family.
It offers a window into the new issues and fresh lines of attack. A reminder of just how much the country, the world, and
Yeah, no trolls in the house. No trolls in the house. They go bye-bye. We don't like that. We only support positivity and love and kindness.
Inflation and immigration are still at the center of it all. Trump's record was at the heart of their last debates, even as he sought to deflect.
If he gets in, you will have a depression the likes of which you've never seen. Your 401ks will go to hell, and it'll be a very, very sad day for this country.
While those warnings didn't come to pass, Biden's record is now under the microscope, complicating his effort to make it a referendum on Trump.
The fact is that everything he's saying so far is simply a lie. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
And America's oldest presidential candidates are even older. Trump 78, Biden 81, with age and fitness for office now a central issue in the race. Public opinion for presidents can be punishing. Biden's favorability has fallen 11 points since 2020, with nearly 6 in 10 Americans holding an unfavorable view. Perceptions of Trump have changed less, with more than half still seeing him in an unfavorable light. Televised debates have long been a storied part of presidential campaigns, with history-making moments for candidates.
There you go again.
Yet this showdown is without parallel. the nation's 45th and 46th presidents, still seeking to find one another.
Yeah, so the debate starts in 1 minute, and just in about a minute, the debate is gonna start. And here we go. It's gonna be live. "45 seconds. Oh yeah, here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Live presidential debate. My.
We're live from Georgia, a key battleground.
Georgia.
The White House. In just moments, the current U.S. president will debate the former U.S. president as their party's presumptive nominee, a first in American history. We want to welcome our viewers in the United States and around the world to our studios in Atlanta. This is the CNN presidential debate.
Why does it gotta be CNN? It's America. It's kind of dumb.
This is a pivotal moment between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump in their rematch for the nation's highest office. Each will make his case to the American people with just over 4 months until Election Day. Good evening, I'm Dana Bash, anchor of CNN's Inside Politics and co-anchor.
I'm Dick Tapper, anchor of CNN's The Lead and co-anchor of State of the Union. Dana and I will co-moderate this evening. Our job is to facilitate a debate between the two candidates tonight. Before we introduce them, we want to share the rules of the debate with the audience at home. Former President Trump will be on the left side of the screen. President Biden will be appearing on the right. A coin toss determines their positions. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer a question and 1 minute each for responses and rebuttals. An additional minute for follow-up, clarification, or response is at the moderator's discretion.
When it's time for a candidate to speak, his microphone will be turned on and his opponent's microphone will be turned off. Should a candidate interrupt when his microphone is muted, it will be difficult to understand for viewers at home. At the end of the debate, each candidate will get 2 minutes for closing statements. There is no studio audience tonight. Pre-written notes, props, or contacts with campaign staff are not permitted during the debate. By accepting our invitation to debate, both candidates and their campaigns agreed to accept these rules.
Now, please welcome the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Organisms. Yo, what's up, Zachary? What's up? My birthday was yesterday. That's awesome. What's up, Carrie Moody? Akari.
Please welcome the 46th President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Here we go. Donald Trump is walking out onto the stage, and his hair looks marvelous. Just perfect hairdo. That's what's important.
Is their top concern the economy? President Biden, inflation has slowed, but prices remain high. Since you took office, the price of essentials has increased. For example, a basket of groceries that cost $100 then.
Yeah, what do you have to
now cost
say for
more than
yourself, Joe
$120.
Biden?
And typical home prices have jumped more than 30%. What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than?
Yeah, what do you say, Joe Biden? Look at his scared ass face.
Not what Mr. Trump up. We have an economy that was truthful. Pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All we said was it's not that serious. Just inject a little police and we'll be all right. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do is try to put things back together again.
That's exactly what we intend to do. We created 15,000 new jobs. We brought out a position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs, but there's more to be done. There's more to be done. Working class people are still in trouble. I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania, from a household where the kitchen table for things weren't able to be.
Okay, I hate when they do this. He's not answering the question. He's just answer the question. What do you have to say?
And we're gonna make sure that we reduce the price of housing.
Answer the question. That's all. Voters who feel they are worse off under his presidency than under Trump's. What do you say to voters?
In addition to that, we're in a situation where if you have to take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, things were in chaos. They were literally chaos. And so we think back to we created ourselves a job to make sure we have a situation where we brought down the price.
Joe Biden.
It's a major issue for many people. It's $15 for an insulin shot as opposed to $400. No senior has to pay more than $200 for any drug, all drugs that include any next year. In the situation
He looks like he's freaking reading it off of a freaking like board or something.
Thank you, President Trump.
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country, and we have never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with
I'm gonna play some basketball if you're still live, then I'll take back 0. Alright, debate me. Check you later.
By the time we finished, we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and no wars, and so many other things. Everything was rocking good. But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates that was a disaster for our country, but other than that, we had given them back a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce back jobs, a bounce back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
Thank you, President Biden.
Well, the greatest economy in the world. He's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks he's the greatest economy in the world. And
Lots of people think that. You
we
freaking.
found ourselves in a situation where his economy, he rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion. He raised a deficit larger than any president has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs than he had when he began, since Herbert Hoover. The idea that he did something that was significant. And the military, you know, when he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we still found ourselves in a position where you had a notion that we were this safe country. Truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
He messed
President
it.
Trump, I want to follow up if I can.
He changed from century to decade.
That's
the difference.
You want to impose a 10% tariff on all goods coming into the U.S. How will you ensure that that doesn't drive prices even higher?
Not going to drive them higher. It's just going to cost countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others, in all fairness to China. It's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down, and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also said...
Joe Biden, I used to work at a nursing home. I used to work at a nursing
And it
home.
stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his
Joe
leadership because they
Biden-
spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing.
No, I don't think so, but,
Probably the worst administration in history. There's never
it's
been.
not like I'm
And as far as
pro-Trump
Afghanistan
either.
is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we're getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life.
President Trump, over the last 8 years, under both of your administrations, the national debt soared to record highs. And according to a new nonpartisan analysis, President Trump, your administration approved $8.4 trillion in new debt, while so far, President Biden, you've approved $4.3 trillion in new debt. So former President Trump, many of the tax cuts that you signed into law are set to expire next year. You want to extend them and go even further, you say. With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits and record debt, why should top earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
Because the tax cuts spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And even after COVID, it was so strong that we were able to get through COVID much better than just about any other country. But we spurred, that tax spurred. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that. We took in more revenue with much less tax, and companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country. The country was growing like never before, and we were ready to start paying down debt. We were ready to start using the liquid gold right under our feet, the oil and gas right under our feet. We were going to have something that nobody else has had. We got hit with COVID. We did a lot to fix it. I gave him an unbelievable
Freaking
situation.
Joe Biden needs to be sitting in a wheelchair or a chair so he doesn't fall over.
More people died under his administration, even though we had largely fixed it. More people died under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it. Something which a lot of people don't like to talk about. But yet far more people died in his administration. He did the mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. When the vaccine went out, he did a mandate of the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job. And I will tell you, not only poor there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent. All of the things he's done, we've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame. The damage he's done to our country, and I'd love to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions to come into our country and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden, I want to give you an opportunity to respond to the question about the national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president for your period, number one. Number two, he got $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. Now, what I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America. And what's happening? We're in a situation where
He keeps forgetting his words. Billionaires,
they
trillionaires.
just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers. And they raised $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with war. If
He's freaking choking up on stage. You can't even freaking.
President Trump?
Was right, he did beat Medicare, he beat it to death, and he's
I
destroying
hate that we
Medicare.
have to vote.
Because all of these people are coming in, they're putting them on Medicare, they're putting them on Social Security.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. What's up, Elijah? Yeah, I mean, there's
millions and millions of
like
people
that's
coming in.
it.
They're trying
We
to put
need
them on Social Security.
something
He will
different.
wipe out Social Security, he will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence, and it's a shame. What's happened to our country in the last 4 years is not to be believed. The foreign countries, I'm friends with a lot of people, they cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. We're no longer respected. They don't like us. We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people. What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing
They
for us.
think we're
What this
stupid.
man
Other
has
countries
done
think we're stupid, is what Donald
absolutely
Trump
criminal.
says.
Thank you, President Trump. Dan?
This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. This morning, the court ruled on yet another abortion case, temporarily allowing emergency abortions to continue in Idaho, despite that state's restrictive ban. Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states. However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access to abortion pills. 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion bill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. And if you look at this whole question that you're asking, complex but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders. And what I did is I put 3 great Supreme Court justices on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of killing Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody wanted. Now, 10 years ago or so, they started talking about how many weeks and how many this, getting into other things. But every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio, it was a decision that was an end result. It was a little bit more liberal than you would have thought. Kansas, I would say the same thing. Texas is different. Florida is different. But they're all making their own decisions right now. And right now, the states control it. That's the vote of the people. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But you have to get elected also. And because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth, if you look at the former governor of Virginia, he was willing to do this. He said, we'll put the baby aside and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the baby. What happened is we brought it back to the states, and the country is now coming together on this issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank you. President Biden?
It's been a terrible. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided. Supported Roe. And that's this idea that they're all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who said the state should be able to have it. We're a state where in 6 weeks, you know what you're pregnant on, but you cannot see a doctor and have him decide on what your circumstances are when you need help. The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have its rule. Look, there's so many young women who, including a young woman who just murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by a man coming in. We talk about that. Here's the deal. There's a lot of young women being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters. It's just ridiculous. And they can do nothing about it. And then try to arrest them across state line.
Thank you.
There have been many young women murdered by the same people we allow to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world, considered the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country. And they are raping and killing women. And it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back with the states. The states are voting. In many cases, actually a very liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about this issue, which frankly they didn't. But they would have done it. Everybody wanted it brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't able to get it. Everybody wanted it brought back. And many presidents had tried to get it back. I was the one to do it. And again, this gives it the vote of the people, and that's where they wanted it. Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states, I'll let you do that, this is the same topic. 7 states have no legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy a woman can obtain an abortion. Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I support Roe v. Wade. She had 3 trimesters. First time between the woman and the doctor. Second time between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time between the doctor, the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders want the politicians to be the one thinking about a woman's health is ridiculous. That's the last. No politician can make that decision. A doctor should be making that decision. That's how it should be run. That's what it's gonna do. And if I'm elected, I'm gonna restore Roe v. Wade.
He can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the governor, former governor of Virginia, put the baby down.
These debates are mostly a waste of time because they usually never go over any real policies.
In the 9th month and kill the baby.
They talk in
Nobody
circles
wants
all
that
the
to
time.
happen. Democrat or Republican, nobody wants it to happen.
Yeah.
It's simply not true.
Yeah, that's why I don't believe the media.
That's
I
not the
don't.
circumstance. Only woman's life is in danger, she's gonna die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period. Period, period.
The Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, Constitutional Scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. Takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do, in fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board, at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
Let's turn on to the issue of immigration and border security. President Biden, a record number of migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch. Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, but made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers. Significantly, by the way, the Border Patrol endorsed me, endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where when he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure that the families were separated. That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed the law, I've changed it in a way that now we're in a situation where 40% fewer people coming across the border legally is better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban.
Yeah, I don't get this whole.
The total initiative.
I don't follow politics. I don't really get into it, but this is fun to watch.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we have the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now. All terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America, all over the
Trump
world.
or Biden?
From the Middle East, everywhere, all over the world.
So
And this guy just left
Trump is the choice over Biden. I really don't want to have to choose between the two. But I'd pick Trump over Biden.
And by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that. He endorsed me for
Give
president.
me an ass blaster to celebrate the debate
But look, we had the safest
for the
border in
Jaden
history.
channel.
Now we have the worst border in history. This is anything like it, and people are dying all
Maybe
over
I've
the place.
already
Look at the
promised
people that
one
come
fart.
out.
My next fart to somebody.
The only terrorists who denied across the border, Chinese people want to kill three administration, kill Al-Qaeda person administration, kill 3 American soldiers, kill 3 American soldiers. That's the only terrorist that's there. I'm not saying that no terrorists ever got through. The idea we're emptying our prisons, we're welcoming these people. That's simply not true. There's no data to support what he said. Once again, he's exaggerating, he's lying.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second. You said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani. the two greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world, and had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with a bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying, and also killing our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every state in the union, because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen before. And you're reading it like these three incredible young girls over the last few days. One of them, I just spoke to the mother, and he just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible what's taking place. What's taking place in our country, we're literally an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know. He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen
I'm
anything
noticing
like it. And we
the
get a lot of
pins.
these
They
people
both
out there
have,
who get them out fast
both
because
Joe
they
Biden
destroy our
and
country.
Donald
Just
Trump
look
have
at the
American flag
They're living
pins
in
on
luxury
them,
hotels
on their
in New York
lapel,
City and other
on their
places.
suits.
Our veterans,
Biden's
people
is
dying because he doesn't care about
curved.
our veterans. He doesn't
It's
care.
like
He's
the
a
flag,
luxury
like it's
at all.
waving,
And he
whereas
doesn't care
Joe
about our veterans.
Biden's
Nobody
is
gets worse.
just
I
straight.
have the highest approval rate
I
for
just
veterans
noticed that.
taking
That's some
care
of the
the
things
VA.
I noticed. I like the
He's
curved
just
one
got rid
better
of all the things that I
than the
approved,
straight
choice
pin.
that I got through Congress, all of the different things I approved.
That's my 2 cents on the lapel pin.
Because he's done all these great things that we did, and I think he did it just
Yeah.
because I approved it, which is crazy. But he has killed so many people at our border by allowing all of these people to come in. But it's a very sad day.
President Biden, the other line.
Every single thing he said is a lie.
Oh my gosh, he comes back with that. He comes, he's pissed. Everything he just said was a lie.
What happened, whether it was Agent Orange or.
Wow, that's a big claim. See, this is what I'm getting. They're polar extremes, you know. They're polar extremes, one extreme to the other. I don't. Nothing. I don't know.
France for D-Day. And I spoke to all about those heroes that died.
That's a mighty big
I went to
claim.
the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery, he refused to go there. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, "I don't want to go there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, he's not a sucker. You're a sucker, you're the loser."
Oh, he's calling him names. You're the sucker. You're the loser. What the
It
freak?
was in the third grade magazine, the Spelling, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that.
What is this? Like third grade name calling? Like you're the sucker. You're the loser.
Because nobody's taking better care. I'm so glad this
I'm
came
just
up.
watching
And he brought
kids
it up.
argue on a
There's
playground.
nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I was in front of generals and others saying suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
4-star general standing to your side was on your staff. He said you said it, period. That's number one. And number two, the idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history. American history. And then
Yeah,
now
this
their
is
families.
a
I want to
spirited
take it out
debate
to the
here.
country. Is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
All right, thank you so much.
Topic of foreign policy. I want to begin with Russia's war against Ukraine, which is now in its 3rd year. Former President Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, so,
end this war.
Yeah, I know a couple people that are felons and they can't vote, and I think that's ridiculous. Why the heck can't a felon vote?
Are Putin's
That's
terms acceptable?
First of all, our veterans.
that's ridiculous to me.
Can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. So let's get that straight. And they like me more than just about any of them. And that's based on every single bit of information. As far as Russia and Ukraine, if we had a real president, the president that was respected by Putin.
What's up? We're watching the debate tonight. I'm giving my live commentary. Now they're talking about, are Putin's terms for ending Russia's war against Ukraine acceptable, Trump? That goes in one ear out the other. I don't even understand what they're freaking talking about. I don't know much about Putin's war or whatever. I don't know. I don't watch the news enough to even know what they're to even give a comment on this. But they're acting like kids on a playground. Like Joe Biden called him a freaking loser. Joe Biden called Donald Trump a loser. Like, what the heck is going on here? It's a freaking historical presidential debate, and we got one guy calling the other a loser. That's just me. What's up, Debate Me? Welcome back, WB.
You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for anything. No money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration. This place, the whole world is blowing up.
President Biden?
I've never heard so much more in my whole life. But the fact of the matter is that we're in a situation where, let's take the last point first. Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of his troops, and he did nothing about it. Not when he was president. Here they attacked. He said they just had an headache. That's all it is. And he didn't do a thing when the attack took place, number one. Number two, we got over 100,000 Americans and others out of Afghanistan during that era. Number three, we found ourselves in a situation where, take a look at what Trump did in Ukraine. This guy told Trump, do whatever you want, do whatever you want. And that's exactly what Trump did to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want. And he went in. Listen to what he said when he went in. We're going to take Kyiv for 5 days, remember? It was part of the old Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to reestablish. Kyiv. And he, in fact, didn't do it at all. He wasn't able to get it done. And they lost thousands of troops, 500,000 troops.
President Trump,
I never said that.
For 1 minute, I just want to go back to my original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the territory in Ukraine?
No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he let everybody along.
Trump just answers the question. He's like, are Putin's terms for ending Russia's war against Ukraine acceptable to Trump? He says no. That's a yes or no question, and he answered it. And now he's talking more.
And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking
Sometimes they just don't answer the question and beat around the bush. But I like how Trump says he answers the question. Biden looks like he's freaking reading off of a teleprompter or something.
People being killed so needlessly, so stupidly. I will get it settled, and I'll get it settled.
We need to have the word "stupid" counter in this debate and see how many times the word "stupid" is said.
And he has made one thing clear. He wants to reestablish what was required.
Do you know the Brawl Stars? No, I don't.
That's what he wants. And then you think he'll stop there? You think he'll stop when he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so if you want a war, you ought to find out what he's going to do, because if in fact he does what he says and walks away, by the way, all that money we give Ukraine, weapons we make here in the United States, we give them the weapons, not the money at this point. And our NATO allies produce as much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
Thank you. Moving on to the Middle East.
In October, Hamas attacked Israel, killing more than 1,000 people and taking hundreds of hostages. Among those held and thought to still be alive are 5 Americans. Israel's response has killed thousands of Palestinians and created a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. President Biden, you put forward a proposal to resolve this conflict, but so far Hamas has not released the remaining
Do you know the
hostages, and Israel
Brawl
is
Stars?
continuing
No, I
its
don't know
military
that.
offensive in Gaza. So what additional leverage will you use to get Hamas and Israel to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
Number one, everyone from the United Nations Security Council straight through the G7 to the Israelis and Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan I put forward. Which has 3 stages to it. The first stage is we trade the hostages for a ceasefire. Second phase is a ceasefire with additional conditions. The third phase is no end of the war. The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas. Number one. They're the only ones standing up. We're still pushing hard to get them to accept. In the meantime, what's happened?
Hello, Bree.
Israel was 2,000-pound bombs. They don't work very well in populated areas. They kill a lot of innocent people. We're providing Israel all the weapons they need and when they need them. And by the way, I'm the guy that organized the world against Iran when they had a full-blown ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one was hurt. No one Israel was acted up and killed and stopped. We saved Israel. We are the biggest producer of support for Israel of anyone in the world. And so they're 2 different things. Hamas cannot allow it to continue. We
Do
continue
you
to survive
ever think of shaving off your
the highway
beard?
against Hamas like we did that
No,
We don't
I
have
never
to.
think of it.
By the way,
Never.
greatly weaken Hamas.
The thought never crosses my mind. Can you say my name? Johan.
Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second.
Juan, or I don't know how you would pronounce that Y,
The
but
European nations together
Johan.
have spent $100 billion, maybe more than that, less than us. Why doesn't he call them and say, you gotta put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any, they were going out of business. We were spending almost 100% of the money was paid by us. He didn't do that. He's getting all, you gotta ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between.
You got it correct. Let's go. Yeah.
And Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one that wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one. And you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
President Biden, you have a minute.
I've never heard so much foolishness. This is a guy who wants to get out of NATO. You see NATO? He wants to get out of NATO. The idea that we have our strength lies in our alliances as well. There may be a big ocean. We're never able to avoid a war in Europe, a major war in Europe. What happens if, in fact, you have continue to go into NATO? Attack on one, attack on all. You want to start the nuclear war that he's talking about, go ahead. Let Putin go in and control Ukraine and then move on to Poland and other places. It happens then. He has no idea what the hell he's talking about. And by the way, I got 50 other nations around the world to support Ukraine, including Japan and South Korea, because they understand that this kind of dislocation has a serious threat to the whole world. Because no major war in Europe has ever been able to contain just in Europe.
President Trump, just to follow up, would you support the creation of an independent Palestinian state in order to achieve peace in the region?
I'd have to see, but before we do that, the problem we have is that we spend all the money. So they kill us on trade. I made great trade deals with the European Union. Because if you add them up, they're about the same size economically. Their economy is about the same size as the United States. And they will rip no cars, they don't want anything that we have. But we're supposed to take their cars, their food, their everything, their agriculture. I changed that. But the big thing I changed is they don't want to pay. And the only reason that he can play games with NATO is because I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. I said, and he's right about this. I said, no, I'm not gonna support NATO if you don't pay. They asked me that question, would you guard us against Russia? At a very secret meeting of the 28 states at that time, nations at that time. And they said, no, if you don't pay, I won't do that. And you know what happened? Billions and billions of dollars came flowing in the next day and the next month. But now we're in the same position. We're paying everybody's bills.
Let's turn to the issue of democracy. Former President Trump, I want to ask you about January 6, 2021. After you rallied your supporters that day, some of them stormed the Capitol to stop the constitutionally mandated counting of electoral votes. As president, you swore an oath to, quote, preserve, protect, and defend, unquote, the Constitution. What do you say to voters who believe that you violated that oath through your actions and inaction on January 6th and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point we'll be talking about, where he goes after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
You have 80 seconds left. My question was, what do you say to those voters who believe that you violated your constitutional oath through your actions and inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker.
Yeah, I'm not very political. I don't get into it, but
because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor, in writing, by the way, the mayor, in writing, turned it down. The mayor.
It's like who.
They turned it down.
You've got two choices, and these are the two people we got to choose from. Because, like, I mean, there's independents, there's other people out there running, but they don't get any attention. It's like, if you got money, then you can campaign. If you don't got money, then, I mean, there's freaking people on TikTok that are running for president, and their whole campaign is on TikTok. That's because they're, you know, they're not wealthy or whatever. I don't know.
He encouraged us to the Capitol, number one. I sat in the dining room off the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours watching being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues on the Republican side as well to do something, to call for a stop, to end it. Instead, he talked about the European patriots and the great patriots of America. In fact, he says he'll not forgive them for what they've done. No? If they've been convicted, he says he wants to commit to sentencing and say that, no. He went to every single court in the nation. I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court. And they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. Didn't do a damn thing. And these people should be jailed. And they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out. And now he says that he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that there could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
What they've done to some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What you have done, and you've destroyed the lives of so many people. When they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down many other cities, you go to Minnesota, Minneapolis, what they've done there with the fires all over the city. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city would have been destroyed. When you look at all of they took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that, they saw them coming, and they left immediately. What he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing. The Unselect Committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are all gone now, out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats, they destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right.
and they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, I want to give you a minute.
The only person on the stage is a convicted felon, this man I'm looking at right now. And the fact of the matter is, what he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on. Capitol Hill, and all of them, every one of them were convicted. They turned over desks, turning over statues. The idea that those people are patriots, come on. I said, we pronounce the parable. He said, no, I'm going to stand by. The idea he's refusing, will we denounce these guys? We denounce the people we're talking about now? We denounce the people who attacked that Capitol? What are you going to do?
I'm going to give you a minute, President Trump, for a follow-up question I have. After a jury convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the select committee on January 6th going to jail. And your main political opponent is with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about the feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going
Mo
to be
is the best. I love you for today.
Right now, it's a failing nation.
Thanks.
My retribution is going to be success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted
Excuse
felon
me.
at a very high level. His son is convicted, going to be convicted probably numerous other times. Should have been convicted before, but his Justice Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important thing. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things. All of the death cause at the border, telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion, you change the prosecutor, otherwise you're not getting $1 billion. If I had said that, that's quid pro quo. That we're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor having to do with the son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. I did nothing
Do I
wrong.
play Fortnite? I've played it a couple times. Like, literally like twice I played it. But no, I'm not a normal, Fortnite player. I did, however, place 87th playing Fortnite when I played it. I was playing with other people and got a victory royale once while in like multi-person mode or whatever on Fortnite. They're just like this debate. They're just going back and forth and back and forth. You're a liar. No, you're a liar. No, you're a liar. No, you're a liar. Like what? But as I said earlier, Donald Trump's pin, lapel pin, is much better than Joe Biden's lame, straight pin, whereas Donald Trump's is like a waving flag on his lapel pin, but Joe Biden's is just a straight pin, like it's not waving. One is the clear winner when it comes to the lapel pin.
The prosecutor were all high-ranking Democrats, appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand it better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are. But when they found out about these cases, you know what they did? My phone numbers went up way up. You know that because you're reporting it. And we took in more money in the last 2 weeks than we've ever taken in the history of any campaign. I don't think any campaign has ever taken hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in because the public knows it's a scam. And it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win fair and square.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, quote, Donald Trump and his MAGA Republicans are determined to destroy American democracy. Do you believe that the tens of millions of Americans who are likely to vote for President Trump will be voting against American democracy?
The more they know about what he's done, yes. The more they know about what he's done. And there's a lot more things. You've got a lot of cases around there coming out. You've got a whole range of issues. I don't know what the jury will do, but I do know he has no problem. And so the fact that, did you ever think you heard any president say that I'm gonna seek retribution? You ever hear any president say that?
Why do you stop farting every day till you hit 1,000,000?
My son and daughter decided in Iraq.
I don't know.
I said I wasn't gonna run.
It's a lofty goal. 1,000,000 followers.
People coming out of the
So
woods carrying swastikas.
I don't know if I'd ever reach it.
And Siemens Semitic File, they sang when back in Germany. And the young woman got killed. I spoke to the mother, and they asked her and said, what do you think of those people? The people the one who got killed, the one who tried to stop it, and the one who said, I think they're fine people on both sides. What American president would ever say? Nazis coming out of fields, carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic file, carrying swastikas. We're fine people. This is the guy who says Hitler's done some good things. I'd like to know what they are. Good things Hitler's done, that's what he
You
said.
should fart every day till you hit 10K. Hey, I like the rhyme there.
Both of you know that.
Farting every day till I hit 10K.
Because when you see the sentence, it said.
Because I'm at 6K now, so
he just keeps it going. He says he ran.
I like it.
He didn't run because he shot.
I like it.
He ran because it was his
I
last
really do
chance.
like it.
He's not equipped to be president.
Mo
You know,
is
and I
the
know
best.
this
Thank
is
you for
fair,
that
but
suggestion.
we're trying to
You should
justify
fart
his
every day
presidency.
till you hit
His
10K.
presidency, he's-
Fart every day
without
till you hit
question,
10K.
the worst
Wow.
president- The worst presidency in the history of
I
our
like
country.
it.
We shouldn't be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate. He made up the Charlottesville story, and you'll see it's debunked all over the place. Every anchor every reasonable anchor has debunked it. And just the other day it came out where it was fully debunked. It's a nonsense story. He knows that, and he didn't run because of Charlottesville. He used that as an excuse to run.
President Biden?
Debunked. It happened. All you have to do is listen to what was said at the time. And the idea that somehow that's the only reason I ran. I ran because I was worried a guy like this guy could get elected. If he thought they were good people coming out of that forest, carrying those woods, carrying those torches, then he didn't deserve to be president. Didn't deserve to be president at all. And the idea that he's talking about all this being
Could
fabricated.
you shout me out on one of your videos? Says Mo is the best.
We saw people occupying that vice president. Look, there's a reason why.
I guess. I mean, yeah. Just leave a comment on my latest video, which I think is Fart for Garrett.
Why, they know him well. They serve him.
If you want to leave a message, or just leave a comment on that video, and when I see the comment, I'll be able to do it, because I forget these things, you know. Commercial break in progress. Programming will resume momentarily, folks. Where's the commercials? I don't see any commercials. I'm on YouTube though. Oh no, nope, we got commercials. But it's an advertisement for Snapchat. That's interesting. Who are you voting for? I'm, to be honest, most likely not gonna vote in the election. I might be registered. The last place I was registered was in another city from where I'm at now. So I'm not really registered to vote where I'm at now, I don't think. Which I know that shouldn't be a barrier to vote, because it's really easy to register to vote nowadays, but I don't really care to vote. Like, that's just like voting Kanye. Alright. Commercial break in progress. Programming will resume momentarily. I mean, if I can vote for myself, I can write in myself. But Excuse me. Do I like Metallica? Yeah, I guess. I don't listen to them on a regular basis, but I used to listen to them like back, like that the album that was the cover was all black. Let me look it up on Spotify. Metallica. Metallica, 1991. I guess that was the album. Was band name, self-titled album was Metallica. It says 1991. Yeah, that's the one I'm most familiar with. I'm not familiar with much of their other albums. My favorite is Lux Eterna.
Georgia. Let's talk about persistent challenges you both faced in the first terms and you face again in the second term. President Biden
My TV is getting I'm watching this on YouTube on my TV, but my TV is getting lagged a little bit. It's like the pixels are getting blurry. I guess because my internet's slow. Thanks, Joe Biden. It's his fault. It's his fault. It's Joe Biden's fault. That my internet is slow. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Number two, the wages of black unemployment is the lowest level it's been in a long time.
Yeah, Joe Biden.
Number three.
So,
housing for black Americans.
if you didn't know, the Affordable Connectivity Program providing internet to people, providing cell phones and data to people free of charge has ended. It's gone. I personally know people where I live that have lost phone service because this program has ended. But that's why I say Joe Biden's fault that my internet is slow, because I had to slow down my internet because I no longer get a discounted internet. I was getting discounted internet through the Affordable Connectivity Program, the ACP, but I no longer have access to that, and so now I have to pay more for slower internet. Thanks, Joe Biden.
You have 49 seconds left. What do you say to black voters who are
Do I like
disappointed
cheese
with the progress
balls?
so far?
Yes, cheese balls are wonderful.
Inflation is still hurting them badly. For example, I provided for the idea that any black family, first-time home buyer should get a $10,000 tax credit to be able to buy their first home so they can get started. I made sure that we're in a situation where black families and black individuals provided that if they buy student loans that were ballooning, that if they were engaged in nursing, and anything having to do with volunteerism, if they paid their bills for 10 years, all the rest is forgiven after 10 years.
Yeah, I recently saw this video that put cheese balls in a crock pot.
He's blaming inflation, and he's right.
Trump speaking.
He caused the inflation, and it's killing black families and Hispanic families and just about everybody. It's killing people. They can't buy groceries anymore. They can't. You look at the cost of food where it's doubled, tripled, and quadrupled. They can't live. They're not living anymore. He caused this inflation. I gave him a country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It was so good. All he had to do was leave it alone. He destroyed it with his Green New Scam and all this money that's being thrown out the window. He caused inflation. As sure as you're sitting there, the fact
What's
is
your
that
pizza?
his big
What's your
kill
favorite pizza
of
topping?
black people is the millions of
Dang,
people
my
he's allowed
favorite
to come
pizza
through the border.
topping.
They're taking black jobs now, And it could be 18, it could be 19, 20 million people. They're taking
Depends
black
on my
jobs,
mood.
they're taking Hispanic jobs.
Depends on how
We
much
haven't seen
money
it
I
yet.
have to
We're
add
gonna see
extra
something that's gonna
toppings.
be the worst in our
But
history.
typically, I would go for like pepperoni at least. If that's all I can afford, I'd go for a pepperoni pizza. But then I'd add sausage.
That's why there's no inflation.
Believe it or not, anchovies I like. I used to get an anchovy, pineapple, and jalapeno pizza, believe it or not. And I liked it. It was pretty good. It was like this 24-hour pizza place. And it was pretty good. You could order it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, pizza. It was awesome.
You put more police on the street than any administration has. He wants to cut the cops. We're providing for equity and making sure people are not shot to make it. There's a lot going on. And the inflation, he caused it by his tremendous malfeasance and way he handled the pandemic.
Yeah, so I'm the whole pineapple on pizza debate. It's funny, we're watching a debate right now, but pineapple on pizza, if you like it, do it. Why is it a debate? Like, if you don't like it, don't put it on your pizza. Just like, if you don't like olives, don't like onions, don't like whatever, don't put it on your pizza. But if you like it, go for it. Pineapple. I like pineapple on pizza. You are the best YouTuber. Thanks.
Every police group in the nation from every state is supporting Donald J. Trump. Almost every police group. And what he's done to the black population is horrible, including the fact that for 10 years he called them super predators. We can't, in the 1990s, we can't forget that. Super predators was his name. And he called it to them, and they've taken great offense at it, and now they see it happening. But when they see what I did for criminal justice reform and for the historically black colleges and universities, where I funded them and got them all funded, and the opportunity zones with Tim, as you know, Tim Scott is incredible. He did a great job. Great senator from South Carolina.
Would Trump take any action to slow the climate crisis? Here's another question. Is the climate even a crisis? I couldn't tell you, I'm not a scientist, but I know what the media tells me, that the climate is a crisis because of global warming and all this whatever. Is that even true? I don't know. I don't know.
38 seconds left. President Trump, will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
So I want absolutely immaculate clean water, and I want absolutely clean air, and we had it. We had H2O. We had the best numbers ever.
Do you have a gaming console? Yes, I have a Nintendo Wii is the only gaming console I own. Is a Nintendo Wii. And I have 3 games. I have Mario Kart Wii. I have Wii Sports Resort, and I have Wii Music. And that's the 3 games I have on the Wii.
We find ourselves, by the way, black colleges. I came up with $50 billion for HBCUs, historic black university in college, because they don't have them. They don't have the kind of contributors that they have to build these laboratories and all that. Any black students take from colleges or any white student can do. You just have the money now to be able to get those jobs in high tech. We're in a situation where the idea that he is claiming to have done something to have cleanest water. He hadn't done a damn thing for the environment. He, out of the Paris Peace Accord, Climate Accord, I immediately joined it. He took a 1.5 degrees Celsius, and then he went, there's no way back. The only existential threat to humanity is climate change. And he didn't do a damn thing about it. He wants to undo all the life.
And now they're saying
The Paris Accord was
he
gonna
didn't
cost
do
us
a
$1
damn
billion,
thing about it. They're
and China
like,
nothing,
I
and
mean,
Russia nothing, and India nothing.
you
It
can
was a
curse,
rip-off
but
of
I
the
mean,
United
it's a
States.
professional
I ended it
debate.
because I didn't want to waste that money because they treat us horribly. We were the only ones, it was costing us money, nobody else was paying into it, and it was a disaster. But everything that he said just now, I'll give you an example. I heard him say before insulin. I'm the one that got the insulin down for the seniors. I took care of the seniors. What he's doing is destroying all of our medical programs because the migrants coming in, they want everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart on the stage, I guarantee you that. And I want to take care of people. But we're destroying our country. They're taking over our schools, our hospitals, and they're going to be taking over Social Security. He is destroying Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
Yeah.
The idea is that we.
So, I
we
mean,
were
Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, that's a big deal to me. It's a big deal to me. When you claiming somebody else is like, you know, is destroying that program, that kind of hits close to home. You like Jack Black? Yeah, Jack Black. Jack Black is cool. I used to, back in the day, listen to Tenacious D, his band. You know, it was Kyle.
But the idea that he claims that he has the biggest heart up here and he's really concerned about pollution and about climate, I've not seen any indication of that. And by the way, if you talk to prescription drugs, one company agreed that they would reduce the price to $35, which I was calling for one voluntarily. I made sure every company in the world, every pharmaceutical company cannot have to pay. And by the way,
So every day, millions of Americans struggle just to make ends meet. For many older Americans, Social Security provides a critical lifeline. President Biden, nothing is done to Social Security. Seniors will see their benefits cut in just over 10 years. Will you name tonight one specific step you're willing to take to keep Social Security solid?
yes, make the very wealthy can pay their fair share. Right now, everybody making under $170,000 pays 6% of their income, of their paycheck, every single time they get a paycheck. On the first one they get, they're 18 years old. The idea that they're doing, I'm not proposing that everybody, they pay, the millionaires pay 1%. So no one not raise the cost of Social Security for anybody under $400,000 after that, again, to make the wealthy, again, pay their fair share by increasing from 1% beyond to be able to guarantee the program for life.
So you still have 82 seconds left. Are there any other measures that you think that would be able to help keep Social Security solvent, or is just that one enough?
Well, that one enough to keep it solid, but the biggest thing I'll do is defeat this man because he wants to get rid of Social Security. He thinks there's plenty to cut Social Security. He's not going to cut Social Security and Medicare both times. And if you look at the program put forward by the House Republican caucus that he supports, is in fact want to cut it as well. The idea that we don't need to protect our seniors is ridiculous. And by the way, the American public has greater health care coverage today than ever before. And under the ACA, as I said, we're in a circumstance where 400,000 people, 40 million people do not have insurance because they have a pre-existing condition. Only allows them to have that insurance is the fact that they in fact are part of the ACA. And by the way, the other thing is, we're in a situation where we talk about education for Black communities. I've raised the amount of money for Pell Grants another $8,000. So anybody making under $70,000 a year can be able to get $15,000 toward the tuition. It's good. You just don't know anything about it.
Thank you, President Vice President Trump.
So I've dealt with politicians all my life. I've been on this side of the equation for the last 8 years. I've never seen anybody lie like this guy. He lies. I've never seen him. He can look you in the face. Some of the other things too. And we mentioned the laptop. We mentioned Russia, Ukraine. And everything he does is a lie. It's misinformation and disinformation. The losers and suckers theory that he made up is a total lie of the military. It's a disgrace. But Social Security, he's destroying it because millions of people are pouring into our country, and they're putting them onto Social Security, they're putting them onto Medicare, Medicaid, they're putting them in our hospitals, they're taking the place of our citizens there. What they're doing to the VA, to our veterans, is unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street, and these people are living in luxury hotels. He doesn't know what he's doing, and it's really coming back. I've never seen such anger in our country before. The idea is definitely before. By the way, I'm still talking to ladies and said, he is not only that, but he fired them. Let them about fired. Because he's the one who's known. That's what he said. He was the one standing and he said, number one. Number two, the idea is that we're going to be in a situation where all these millions and millions of they talk about illegal aliens are coming into the country and taking away our jobs. There's a reason why we have the fastest growing economy in the world. The reason why we have the most successful economy in the world. We're doing better than any other nation in the world. And by the way, those 15 Nobel laureates you talked about being phony, those 15 Nobel laureates, economists, they all said that if Trump is reelected, we're likely to have a recession and inflation is going to increase in law. And by the way, worst presidency, 159 presidential scholars voted to him the worst president in the history of the United States of America.
President Biden, thank you so much. Let's turn to the cost of child care, which many American families struggle to afford. President Trump, both you and President Biden have
Child care, that's another big issue. Let's see what they have to say about child care.
$11,000 a year per child for many families. The cost of child care for 2 children is more than their rent. In your second term, what would you do to make child care more affordable?
Just to go back, the general got fired because he was no good. And if he said that, that's why he made it up. But we have 19 people that said I didn't say it, and they're very highly respected, much more so than him. The other thing is, he doesn't fire people. He never fired people. I've never seen him fire anybody. I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI, drained the swamp. They were no good. Not easy to fire people. You pay a price for it, but they were no good. I inherited these people. I didn't put Comey there. He was no good. I fired him. This guy hasn't fired anybody. He never fires. He should have fired every military man that was involved with that the Afghanistan horror show, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. He didn't fire. Did you fire anybody? Did you fire anybody that's on the border that's allowed us to have the worst
You're
border in the history
fired.
of the world? Did anybody get fired for allowing 18 million people, many from prisons, many from mental institutions? Did you fire anybody that allowed our country to be destroyed? Joe, our country is being destroyed, and you and I sit up here and waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. He's the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. But look, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroyed.
They're both saying the other is the worst president in the history of the country.
And it reduced it a little bit, like this much. It's insignificant. He wants open borders. He wants our country to either be destroyed or he wants to pick up those people as voters. And I don't think, we just can't let it happen. If he wins this election, our country doesn't have a chance, not even a chance, of coming out of this rut. We probably won't have a country left anymore. That's how bad it is. He's the worst in history by far.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden?
We're the most admired country.
He didn't answer the question.
United States of America. There's nothing beyond their capacity. They're the finest military in the history of the world. The finest in the history of the world.
The question
No one thinks they're weak.
that was asked of them is how will they make child care better? And they're not talking about it.
Look it up, go online. 159 and 58 Oklahoma.
Answer the question.
Presidential historians, they had meetings and they voted. Who was the worst president in American history? One from best to worst. They said he was the worst in all of American history. That's a fact. That's not conjecture. You can argue they're wrong, but that's what they voted. The idea that he is knowing when anything to deal with child care. He did virtually nothing with child care.
All right.
He should significantly
Later,
increase
Mo
child
is
care tax
the
credit.
best.
He should significantly increase the availability of women and men, of single parents to be able to go back to work.
and we should encourage businesses to hold, to have.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, the question was about what would you do to make childcare more affordable. If you want to take the minute.
Just so you understand, we have polling, we have other things that they rate him the worst, because what he's done is so bad. And they rate me, I'll show you, I will show you, and they rate me one of the best, okay? And if I'm given another 4 years, I will be the best, I think I'll be the best. Nobody's ever created an economy like us, nobody ever cut taxes like us. He's the only one I know, he wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. He wants to raise everybody's taxes by 4 times. He wants the Trump tax cuts to expire. So everybody, including the two of you, are going to pay 4 to 5 times. Nobody ever heard of this before. All my life I grow up and I see politicians talking about cutting taxes. When we cut taxes, as I said, we did more business. Apple and all these companies, they were bringing money back into our country. The worst president in history by far, and everybody knows it.
President Biden?
Look, the fact of the matter is that he's dead wrong about, he's increased the tariff, he will increase the taxes on middle class people. I said I never raised the taxes on anybody to make money less than $400,000. I did. These tariffs, 10% tariffs, everything coming in the country, you know what the economists say? That's going to cost the average American $2,500 a year more, because they're going to have to pay the difference in food and all things that are important. Number two, he's in a situation where he talks about how he has not raised, he somehow helped the middle class. The middle class has been devastated by it. Now he wanted a new tax cut of $5 trillion over the next 10 years, which is going to
Middle class. Talking about middle class, I don't know nothing about the middle class.
Number one. Number two, you have not, in fact, made any contact, any progress.
I mean, Joe Biden, they're just arguing back and forth, and it's a bunch of.
Thank you, President Biden. Thank you, President Biden. Let's discuss an epidemic impacting millions of Americans that both of you have made a top priority in your first term, the opioid crisis.
The opioid
The
crisis.
number of overdose deaths in this country has gone up. Under your term, it went up. Under your term, it has gone up. Former President Trump, despite the efforts that both of you have made, more than 100,000 Americans are dying from overdoses every year, primarily from fentanyl and other opioids. What will you do to help Americans right now in the throes of addiction who are
So,
struggling to
you
get
just
treatment?
down here fighting? Yeah.
To finish up, we now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy. We have the largest deficit with China. He gets paid by China. He's a Manchurian candidate. He gets money from China. So I think he's afraid to deal with them something. But you notice he never took out my tariffs because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. It's tremendous. And we saved our steel industries, and there was more to come. But he hasn't done that. But he hasn't cut the tariffs because he can't, because it's too much money. But he's got the largest deficit in the history of our
What's
country,
up?
and he's got the worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing them to do what they're doing to us as a country. They are killing us as a country, Joe, and you can't let that happen. You're destroying our country.
So, President Trump, you have 67 seconds left. The question was, what are you going to do to help Americans in the throes of addiction right now who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
Jake, we were doing very well in addiction until the COVID came along. We had the 2.5, almost 3 years that nobody's ever had before, any country, in every way. And then we had to get tough. And it was the drugs pouring across the border it started to increase. We got great equipment. We bought the certain dog. That's the most incredible thing that you've ever seen, the way they can spot it. We did a lot. And we were getting very
How's
low
the
numbers,
debate going? I
very,
ain't
very low
watching it.
numbers. Then he
They're
came along.
just
The numbers,
arguing
just
back
the
and
numbers
forth,
now, it's
saying
not only the 18 million
the
people
other.
that I believe is even lower.
They're just like,
You gotta
you're the
reserve
worst
drugs
president in
on
history.
dollars.
No,
But
you're
the
the
amount
worst
of-
president in
the
history.
amount of
You're a
drugs
liar.
that
No,
trafficking
you're a
people
liar. It's
coming
just going back and
across our
forth,
border.
and it doesn't
The
make
worst
any
thing I've ever
sense.
seen.
And they're
numbers
not
that
answering the
nobody's ever seen
questions.
Under him, because the border's so bad. But the number of
It's
drugs
supposed to be.
coming across our border now
They're
is the
they're
largest
supposed to
we've
be
ever
talking
had.
about the opioid crisis.
President Biden?
Fentanyl and byproducts of fentanyl went down for a while. And I wanted to make sure we use a machine that can detect fentanyl. These big machines that roll over and it comes across the border. And it costs a lot of money. That was part of this deal we put together, this bipartisan deal. more fentanyl machines, more be able to detect drugs, more the numbers of agents, more numbers of all.
Yeah, I mean, they're just
And,
arguing
he had
like
that
kids.
deal done. He called his.
Like Joe Biden even called
It's gonna hurt me.
Donald Trump a loser.
It's a really good bill. We need those machines. We need those machines. And we're coming down very hard in every country in Asia in terms of precursors for fentanyl. And Mexico is working with us to make sure they don't have the technology to be able to put it
Wonder
together.
if it's as
That's what
pathetic
we
for
have to
us.
do.
Yeah.
We need those machines.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, and again, the question is about Americans in the throes of addiction right now struggling to get the treatment they need.
This does pertain. He ended remain in Mexico. He ended catch and release.
They're not answering the question.
We had so many things that we had done, hard negotiations with Mexico, and I got it all for nothing. It's just like when you have a hostage, we always pay
Just
$60
answer the
million.
question.
Every day we
It's
say,
about the opioid
now we have a
crisis and what are you
hostage,
going to do to
Wall
help
Street Journal
people?
reporter. I think a good guy.
And this is Donald Trump speaking. He's not answering the question. And the same thing goes when Joe Biden gets up. They just argue back and forth, and all they're saying is like telling us what the other one did wrong.
Literally, as soon as I win the election, I will have that reporter out. He should have had an out a long time ago, but Putin's probably asking for billions and billions of dollars because this guy pays it every time. We had 2 cases where we paid $6 million for 5 people. I got 58 people out, and I paid essentially nothing.
Thank you, President Trump. Down.
Let's turn to concerns that voters have about each of you. President Biden, you would be 86 at the end of your second term.
Yeah.
How do you address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate, and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years younger, a lot less comfortable. I think if you just look at the record, look what I've done. I've turned around that horrible situation we left in. As I said, 15 million new jobs, 8 million pounds of manufacturing.
Rip one for
More
Luke.
investment in America. Over billions of dollars in private investment in Indian enterprises. We are growing. By the way, we brought a lot of people. Well, the whole idea of computer chips reached that 3% of the market. We invented those chips, and we lost it because he was sending people to find the cheapest jobs overseas and then bring home a product. So I went to South Korea. I convinced Samsung to invest billions of dollars here in the United States. And then, guess what? Those fabs, they call them, to build these chips, those fabs pay over $100,000. They don't need a college degree for them. And there's billions, $40 billion already being invested in being built right now in the United States, creating.
When are the best as far as breakfast, lunch, or dinner? I'd say in the morning,
40 seconds left. Would you like to add anything?
like after I've slept, you know, and everything gets mixed up in my stomach. Yeah, the best ones are probably in the morning and breakfast time.
Good trade places in the United States of America. All our problems and all our opportunities. We're the most progressive country in the world getting things done. We're the strongest country in the world. We're a country in the world that keeps our word. And everybody trusts us, all of our allies, and those who he held up from Kim Jong-un, we sent love letters to, and Putin, etc. They don't want to screw around with us.
Thank you. Former President Trump, to follow up, you would be 82 at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests, I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions, he couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year. And you know, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I think he doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf night. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a calculated test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced it. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was White House doctor. And then I took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they'd never seen anybody ace it.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 225 pounds, or 235 pounds. Well, he said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's it. Anyway, just take a look at what he says he is, and take it for what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest now. I got my handicap when I was vice president down to a 6. Right? And, by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf. You can carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest one. He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap. 8. I had me on
I've seen you swing. I know you.
You like to, now they're arguing about golf.
President Trump, we're going to
Let's not act like children.
to the specific concern that voters have about you. Will you pledge tonight that once all legal challenges have been exhausted, that you will accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins, and you will say right now that political violence in any form is unacceptable?
Well, I shouldn't have to say that, but of course I believe that. It's totally unacceptable. And if you would see my statements that I made on Twitter at the time, and also my statement that I made in the Rose Garden, you would say it's one of the strongest statements you've ever seen. In addition to the speech I made in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to, and I will tell you, nobody ever talks about that. They talk about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol, and in many cases were ushered in by the police. And as Nancy Pelosi said, it was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear. But the answer is, if the election is fair, free, and I want that more than anybody. And I'll tell you something. I wish he was a great president, because I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be at one of my many places enjoying myself. I wouldn't be under indictment because I wouldn't have been his political opponent, because he indicted me because I was his opponent. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here. The only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again. We're a failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing nation. And we're a failing nation because of him. His policies are so bad. His military policies are insane. They're insane. These are wars that will never end with him. He will drive us into World War III. And we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine. We are very, very close to World War III, and he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un and President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him, they don't fear him, they have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
World War III. But you can follow up and read them up and say, do what you want, Diego. Just do what you want. Because the whole Article 5, attack on one and attack on all, required response. The idea, I can't think of a single
A cough fart? I call them needle farts.
It's because of the people, not me.
Like when you cough and you fart as you're coughing.
And right now, we're needed. We're needed to protect the world because it all safety is the state. And again, you want to have a war, just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens with Poland, Hungary, and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
President Trump, as I come back to you for a follow-up, the question was, will you accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins?
Just to finish what he said, Russia, they took a lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of land from Obama and Biden. They took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it. Not going to play games with me. He knew that. I got along with him very well, but he knew not to play games. He took nothing from me. And now he's going to take the whole thing from this man right here. That's a war that should have never started. It would have never started, ever, with me. And he's going to take Ukraine. And, you asked me a question before, would you do this? He's got us in such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia. Because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, I will never settle until such time. They're running out of people, they're running out of soldiers, they've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old.
When's the last time you sharded? I almost sharded today, to be honest. But I stopped it. I was like, it had been a while, and today I just kind of was going to let a fart out, and I was like, oh, that's not a fart. And but yeah, almost today, but it's probably been several months. Yeah.
Absolutely, there's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else, in a nice location someplace. And again, no indictments, no political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up by numbers, and it's driven them up to a very high level, because the people understand it.
Let's see what your numbers are. This election is over. Let's see. You're a whiner. And you lost the first time.
You're a whiner. He called him a whiner.
Upwards all across the country.
Joe Biden called Trump a whiner with the.
Said any Ukraine said any.
That hurts a lot, but he's one.
None. That you this lie somehow there's all this misrepresentation, all this stealing. There's no evidence of that at all. And I tell you what, I doubt we would accept it because you're such a whiner. The idea if you lose again, you accept it and you can't stand the loss. Something snapped you with the loss last time.
We'll be right back with more from the CNN presidential debate live from Brooklyn.
Wow. Okay, so recap of what just happened on the debate. Joe Biden called Trump a whiner. They're just arguing back and forth like, you're a loser. No, you're a loser. No, you're a liar. No, you're a liar. They're just going back and forth and back and forth. So, it's a hot mess is what it is, in my opinion. But Donald Trump has the better lapel pin. He's got a American flag pin on his lapel, and it's looks like it's waving, whereas Joe Biden's pin looks like it's not waving, it's just straight. So, waving, not waving. American flag. Of course, waving. You're gonna go with that every time.
Bamboo HR is easy for everyone. Me? Yes, you too. Easy start at bamboohr.com. At 1-800-CONTACTS, we're here for people like Allison who's lost her prescription. Don't panic, Allison. Let us panic. Okay, now we'll simply call Allison's doctor and get it for her. There. Let's all calm down with a cup of tea. Just call, go online, or download the app. 1-800-CONTACTS.
Lockyer. Commercial break. If you could fart on any celebrity, who would it be? I'd fart on Joe Biden. I would fart on him. Oh, commercial break. There's a commercial break on the presidential debates right now. Fart on Drake. commercial break. It's all about money. Money is what gets you what you want in the world. And if you don't got it, you're kind of a lesser class citizen, you know. Nobody, I mean, there's people that care, but yeah, it's just like money makes the world go round. Money makes, yeah.
It is now time for the candidates to deliver their closing statements as predetermined by a coin toss. We're going to begin with
Closing
President
statements.
Biden. You have 2 minutes.
Okay.
We've made significant progress in the debacle that was left by President Trump.
Closing statements are going on right now, guys.
We find ourselves in a situation where, number one, we have to make sure that we have a fair tax system. I ask anyone out there in the audience, and everyone out watching this debate, do you think the tax system is fair? The fact is that I said, nobody would give you $400,000 and a single penny increase in your taxes. You will not be elected, that will be the case again. But this guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit. Number one, he's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after the inflation happened down. And you find yourself in a position where he now wants to tax you more by putting a 10% tariff on everything in the United States of America. What I did, well, for example,
If you had one last fart before you died, where would it be?
Well, guess what?
One last fart.
We got it down to
I don't know. I don't really know. That's a pretty deep question there. What's up, Sharon? I'm just chilling, watching the presidential debate. They're giving their final statements now, and that's what we're watching. Joe Biden's talking right now.
And everybody in America wants to get rid of that. We want to make sure that we have child care. We got a significant increase in credit people have for child care. We're going to make sure we do something about what we're doing on lead pipes and all things that are causing health problems for people across the country. We're going to continue to fight to bring it down and give people a break.
President Biden, President, you have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
Like so many politicians, this man is just a complainer. He said, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. All he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to blow it. Our military doesn't respect it. We look like fools in Afghanistan. We didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran was broke. Anybody that did business with Iran, including China.
It's like they're not answering the questions.
They all passed. Iran was broke. They had
Yeah,
no
it's
money
the
for
last,
hospital.
their final statements, like,
Again,
in this presidential debate, they're just going back and forth and telling what the other one did wrong and calling them losers and whiners. Joe Biden called Trump a whiner. It's ridiculous. We need, like, something different. Something different's gotta happen. Something, a change. A revolution. A revolution. Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
A lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like. Even from the medical standpoint, right to try, where we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill. Now you can go, you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible choice for our soldiers. For our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up and take care of themselves for their living. And that's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA. So all of these things, we're a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden. Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate. Anderson Cooper and Aaron Burnett starts now on CNN.
All right. There you have it. The presidential. I just saw your last fart video. Sorry. Yeah. I did a fart for Garrett. Garrett's a good buddy of mine.
Stage. Looks like Joe Biden, the First Lady, has come out. Former President Trump walking off the stage. The first debate of the 2024 campaign and the earliest presidential debate ever now in the books and in front of the voters. Tonight, along with Aaron Burnett, the first word on what those voters might make of it from our political professionals, from our CNN Flash Poll and Swing State Focus Group. We'll be talking to surrogates, including Vice President Harris, getting fact checks from our Daniel Dale and new reporting from inside both campaigns. We'll be here, CNN political commentator Scott Jennings, Kate Bedingfield, David Urban, Van Jones, Alyssa Carter Griffin, and Newsnight anchor Abby Phillip, and David Axelrod, and CNN national correspondent John King. Your thoughts?
Anderson, this was a game-changing debate in the sense that right now, as we speak, there is a deep, a wide, and a very aggressive panic in the Democratic Party. It started minutes into the debate, and it continues right now. It involves party strategists, it involves elected officials, it involves fundraisers. And they're having conversations about the president's performance, which they think was dismal, which they think will hurt other people down the party in the ticket, and they're having conversations about what they should do about it. Some of those conversations include, should we go to the White House and ask the president to step aside? Other of the conversations are about, should prominent Democrats go public with that call? Because they feel this debate was so terrible. They do say, in moments in the debate later, the president got better and got his footing, but then at the end, even his closing statement was a little halting. The contrast between the two candidates. Let me be clear. None of them, and a lot of Republicans, don't think Donald Trump had a great night. Donald Trump broke the fact check
Has
machine
anyone
tonight. And that will be on the record as we go
ever
forward.
been violent towards your farts?
Very specific and
No.
questions about his conduct, about January 6th.
I don't know why they would be violent.
Out there, and sometimes there's a parallel universe
No.
between the political elites and the American people. It'd be nice to see what the voters say. But I can tell you, it started minutes in. It started with the first couple of answers, and it has continued throughout the night from a, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, to what do we do about this? And it involves very senior people in the Democratic Party, including elected officials, saying we have a problem.
Just to co-sign what John is saying, I mean, the panic that I am hearing from Democrats is not like anything that I have heard in this campaign so far. And a lot of it has to do with, first of all, there was a deep frustration about Trump's lies. I mean, he lied a lot tonight. But the problem for Biden was that Trump was able to take sometimes incredible falsehoods and turn them into some kind of argument, whereas Biden's answers were, in a lot of cases, not coherent. Deeply problematic that he was not able to take pretty straightforward answers and answer them to the American public, and then also at some points bringing things up that teed up Trump attacks. So there's a real concern here tonight that there's been some real damage done that cannot be undone. Biden solidified the perspective among voters, but especially among his base. They were hoping that tonight would be a game changer. They are now
Some people overreact
seeing
stuff like that.
a president
That's
who is in the White House, who they
You
do
have.
not necessarily
Do you
believe
use beard
can do
cream?
this for another 4 years.
Yes. I use beard.
About how the Democrats
Not the oil, but the beard balms.
reacted
They're
to this
called.
poll. We said at the beginning that each
I use
person had a
beard
fundamental
balm
goal,
from
and for Biden, that goal
the
was to appear energetic,
the
engaged,
company. It's
and
called
look like
Grave
someone who
Before
is
Shave,
capable of serving
and
from
what
that
you
point
do
of
is
view.
you just take a little.
Because that was job
It's
number
like
one.
a.
I actually think he scored a bunch of points. I think
It's like a little bit of a.
sort of policy stuff.
It's like the consistency of coconut oil, I guess, and you just get it nice and lathered up in your hands and rub it through your beard. It's called beard balm,
I think there was a sense of shock
and I like it.
how he came out at the beginning of this debate, how his voice sounded, that he seemed a little disoriented. He did get stronger as the debate went on, but by that time, I think the panic had set in, and I think you're going to hear discussions
that I don't know will lead to anything, but they're going to be discussion of whether he should continue. And I think part of it is Donald Trump did not meet his mission either. He could not resist the temptation to be nasty, to prevaricate about a whole bunch of things, about his own record, Biden's record, and to seem petty and small at times. So what you saw was a candidate who's deeply vulnerable and a president who may not be able to take advantage of it.
Listen, if anybody in America thinks that was even close to being an okay debate by Joe Biden, I'm living in a parallel universe. That was an unmitigated disaster for President Biden from the second he walked out to the closing statement. The biggest issue for Democrats is abortion, and he couldn't give an answer. He gave an answer he couldn't even give a coherent answer on the biggest issue for Democrats tonight. I've heard from leading Democrats across the United States, elected governors, congressmen, who are texting me and saying, I'm worried I'm going to lose if Joe Biden's the top of the ticket. Bob Casey, I'm not sure in the state of Pennsylvania.
Maybe the government is just trying to fearmonger us.
He's going down in Pennsylvania.
Maybe.
If he's on the
Like,
ticket, I don't know how it's going to
they.
work.
Yeah, look, it was a really disappointing.
Who knows? Who knows what's going on in this world and what's going on in the U.S. And it's not just about the U.S. It's the world and everything. Who knows what's going on? I don't have a clue.
And I think for a lot of Democrats, that's very disappointing.
What kind of transportation do you use where you live? Well, me personally, most of the time I use my two legs when I walk. Or I use Uber. I've used the bus on occasion. I don't have a vehicle, so I walk where I go. I use Ubers or Lyft or the bus on occasion. I have used the bus. I've got a couple bus passes right now that I paid for that I haven't used yet. So this is why I try not to keep up with all the political bullshit. Yeah.
He didn't do well at all.
I don't.
He did not
I
do
don't
well
get
at all.
into it much
And
either.
he
It's
looked-
just
Yeah, but I'll give you the
I'm just
example.
trying to live my own life.
I can
Live
walk you through how I'm supposed to see it.
Live
but I just want to speak from my
to
heart.
make myself
that.
happy.
As a good man, he loves his country. He's doing the best that he can. But he had a testimony tonight, to restore confidence
political.
of the country and of the base.
Yeah,
and he failed to do
that's
that.
funny.
And I think there's a lot of people who are going to want to see him consider taking a different course now. We're still far from our convention, and there is time for this party to figure out a different way forward if he will allow us to do that. But that was not what we needed from Joe Biden, and it's personally painful for a lot of people. It's not just panic, it's pain of what was on my.
And if I may just add to that, I think Joe Biden lost in the first 3 minutes. I think a lot of voters probably tuned out, and millions of people are having conversations with their families, with their friends, of if the president is up to the task and if he should step aside. And I'm someone who believes the former president is a threat to democracy. I think he is a threat to the America as we know it. He wants to fundamentally change our institutions. He has laid out what his plan is. I am not confident that that is the man to take him on. You cannot tell me democracy is on the line and then give that performance tonight.
And watching
Based on that,
awesome
and he
people
believes
like
Donald Trump will
you
be the president-elect.
rip amazing farts definitely helps.
Style group with Laura Costa.
Yeah.
And Biden actually scores pretty well on the issues when he's talking about the substance. And Trump's numbers went down both because he was ducking questions, he was lying about some things, and he was refusing to answer. And some of it was the tone. They don't like it. So when you see that, when you see sort of the statistics, you're going to look at like, oh, that's a mixed bag. But to Van's point about the president's performance, that's what caused the panic. So the question is, and my question actually is, what happens? Because it's a great political strength of Joe Biden, is his resilience and his stubbornness. It's also sometimes a blind spot because he is so stubborn. It's going to be very hard for someone, and I don't know who it is, who could go to Joe Biden and say, you need to do this, number one. And the question is, again, like,
If you could make one wish, what would it be?
40 years, and I have never, ever had what happened on this
I
stage
wish.
happen in the middle of the debate. It started early and it continued. And to Dan's point, very important point, these are
I
people
wish
who love Joe Biden.
that everyone on earth,
Credit Joe Biden for kicking Donald Trump out of the White House. They're Democrats.
including
They're very
those
very diverse
closest
party. It
to
fights on a lot
me,
of things. It has generational issues.
and
It has
those who don't
resources
know
and everything
me,
else. The thing that unites the Democratic Party is
everyone in the
trying to
world,
keep
I
Donald
wish
Trump getting back
happiness
into the
upon
White House. They love
everybody,
Joe Biden for kicking him out. They don't
that
want him back.
they
They came into this debate nervous that Biden was in a weak position.
find the path in their lives that makes them the happiest
If you love him, if you love Joe Biden,
and follow that
you
path.
know, it's a great point. These guys know this better.
You know,
These guys know this better because they talk to. There's this
follow
legacy
the
in
path to
Democratic Party.
happiness.
You don't challenge the incumbent because when it's happened in the past, they haven't been the incumbent.
That's my wish.
It was actually Donald Trump that helped make Joe Biden the nominee because there was a feeling that if there were a primary, that would weaken, that Biden would
Yeah,
probably
if I had a
weaken
wish,
in a general election. And so there were people who could have run it, didn't run.
A
Because the
Merry,
history of
Merry
that is bad. The point
Christmas.
is now, he is the nominee of the Democratic Party. This isn't the 60s, okay? Voters choose the nominee. He is the nominee. Only he can decide whether he's going to continue. And as you point out, and as Kate knows very well, this is a guy with a lot of pride and who believes in himself. And the idea that he's going to say, you know what, I have bad debate.
My path?
I find it hard to
It was
believe.
also an
Wow.
Also, it was.
What would you say your path is?
Okay, and it was also one night. So yes, was an important night.
My path so far has led me to have a family, you know, children of my own,
Is that it's a one night that
and that's,
confirmed people's fears.
you know, changed my whole perception of life and everything upside down, you know,
So you ought to take a test.
changed everything
And
about,
people are gonna feel that it came
changed
up wanting. Not on
my
the
whole
substance.
life
I think
around.
he actually won on the substance.
And,
I don't think Trump did well. I think what it says to a lot of people, a lot of active Democrats is,
You
man,
know,
we can beat
they're-
this guy, but I don't know if we can beat him with the press guy's got
When we came on,
they're
before-
mentally, you know, a big part of my life.
And everybody
I wish you an amazing future. Thank you. Debate me.
The candidacy has fallen, okay? Man, I know you're speaking from your heart. I'm worried about the president. We should pray for the president. I think his advisors, I think the White House, and I think his family have a lot of explaining to do to their party and to the American people. This night, this one night, was called by and asked for by the Biden team. They wanted this night. And this is what we got. We have been told for weeks by Democrats who say, oh, in private meetings, I've seen Joe Biden do cartwheels and handstands while doing trigonometry while solving all the nation's problems. We now
Have
know
you
that
seen
every single
Swiss
person who
Army
said
Man?
that
I enjoyed
has been lying to the
Part
American
Daniel
people.
Radcliffe as a jet ski. No, I've never seen Swiss Army Man. Is that a YouTube thing, or let me look it up? I've never, never heard of it. I got another phone here. I can look it up.
The last election, because she hates Donald Trump. She said to me,
Is that a TV show?
the Democratic Party for this
Swiss
election. If the Democrats truly believe that he is an existential threat to democracy, and that's not just some
Yeah.
talking point, they will wake up in the morning and they will do something else because this is not sustainable.
That's another point about, there are Democrats who are.
Swiss Army
active,
Man. No,
and
I've
there are
never,
a lot
I have
of
not seen it.
Republicans who did
It's a
not want
movie,
to vote for
okay.
Donald Trump, who do not want to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Who also
I've
campaigned
never-
tonight. I heard from one who said.
Never seen
"This
it.
is scary." That's how it was described to me. And
I
so
second that.
there were a lot of those feelings, not just from the base of the party, but other people who really think that there should be an alternative to Trump, who they think is dangerous. And that's the other part of what is unfolding tonight in terms of the panic that is out there.
Guys, I already have, coming into this debate, support for third-party candidates, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. highest, and then Gilstein and Cornell West nowhere near as close. But if you add it all up, you get into the teens in most states when you do that. I think one byproduct out of this is watch and see if those numbers go up a little bit. I'm not saying they're going to go up anywhere like a Perot standard, but you get to third-party candidates getting into double digits, then that's really starts to twist your
CNN, you know.
who they're driving state by state. There's already a very complicated race.
I
Number one, the biggest complication right now is the conversation with the Democratic Party.
I don't know who's right. I don't know who's wrong. They both candidates say the other one is just full of baloney and are liars. And
I just want to say one thing.
so who do you believe?
Especially the you two guys. If,
I don't know.
for whatever reason, there's a change at the top of the ticket, you guys are in trouble with Donald Trump, because the guy who was up there tonight is not a guy who's going to inspire people. He did not show in any way that he has changed from the guy who people have a very positive opinion of for a lot of good reasons.
I think Donald Trump won several policy exchanges tonight. I think he did well on immigration. I think he did well on the economy. I think he did well on inflation. I think he went back to Afghanistan as he should have. The thing he did not do was, after he realized that he had Biden beaten on policy and on income, he should have turned the page and sounded an optimistic note about what we can become as a people and as a country. He did not do that. He continued to pummel Joe Biden on
If you could pick an inconvenient superpower, what would it be?
People are going to remember Joe Biden. They're going to remember him shuffling out. They're going to remember him staring blankly into the camera. They're going to remember him looking down, losing his train of thought. And they're going to remember that everything I thought I knew that the White House told me to believe my life is
Hold on. Thinking about it.
If Joe Biden were not the candidate, if there was another candidate, I think Donald Trump would be in deep.
If I may, that is such a sad state of affairs. Something I was consistently.
I don't know if it's necessarily convenient or inconvenient, but the ability to control your poop, like if you want diarrhea, you can have diarrhea. If you want, well, nobody's gonna want like constipation. That sucks. But if you want diarrhea, you can just control, you know, if you want like a regular stool or diarrhea stool, like you could choose that. That would be a cool superpower, I think. Inconvenient? I don't know. It's hard to think of an inconvenient superpower. I don't really know.
Trump shouldn't be president, and you have somebody who cannot be president in terms of what Donald Trump represents. So we have a problem in the country now, and this might be an opportunity for people to come together and figure this out, because neither one of those people right now are inspiring the confidence that they should inspire, that they can do the job in a way that will give them the country.
But young voters are up for grabs in this election, and I don't know a voter under 30 who would have watched tonight and could say, I have confidence in Joe Biden and casting my vote for 4 more years of Biden.
And this opens the door, by the way, for the conversation about if Joe Biden remains the candidate, you're not voting for Joe Biden. You are voting for President Kamala Harris. Let's be honest. That is where the Trump campaign is going to go with this. They started down this road with an ad they released today.
You are voting for President Kamala Harris.
The volume is going to ratchet up, and
If you're voting for Joe Biden, you're voting for President Kamala Harris. That's what he just said.
Yeah, the Scott's Democratic friend who maxed out, right? That's the sentiment you're going to hear, I think. Some my Democratic friends are texting me saying, I can't believe this is where we are, right? Yeah, I don't forgive, I'm not going to be able to forgive the party for putting in this position. But
on Donald Trump's lies, I mean, I spent a lot of time thinking about this throughout the debate, because, you know, we in the media, I sit in the chair and I fact check Trump all the time, so I know his lies by heart at this point. But people watching from home do not. And Biden's job, as the other person on the other side of the stage, is to be the one to very quickly dispense with the lies and to shut them down. And I don't think that happened enough times in a coherent way to blunt the fact that Trump was taking a universe that was built on a house of lies and building a whole world for the millions of people watching.
Particularly on some of the most basic
Leg
subject
easy.
matters that President Biden should have been able to just.
If you were in a horrible accident, what
Knocked down by the president.
bedtime reminder?
At the heart of the problem. He may have won when he was
My
making
watch
his
is
free
reminding me
policy
it's bedtime.
points, but part of the problem on the debate stage is dealing with
Leg
an
easily.
opponent like Donald Trump.
I would probably choose my left arm, to be honest. My left arm. I'm right-handed, so it'd be hard to lose my right arm.
I think what they saw was the Trump.
But I don't want to lose the ability to walk, and so I'd probably choose my left arm. That's what I would lose, my left arm.
Bob did fact check him on the Charlottesville thing. He was completely wrong. Right, so he's up there talking about Charlottesville, Trump not denouncing the two sides, and Snopes was out last week, 7 months ago, like 7 years too late
Just
kind of thing on the deal.
get a
And
prosthetic
that's what Joe
leg.
Biden's gonna fact check him on?
Yeah, I guess it depends where on the leg it was cut off at, you know? If it's up by the hip, that's, I mean, I guess they still have prosthetics for that. But, I don't know. Like, I'm thinking they're cutting it off, like, if I'm losing an arm, it's cut off at the shoulder, it's gone. Same thing as a leg, it's cut off right at the hip. Boom, it's gone. That's what I think of a cut off limb. So with those things in mind, that's, you know, how I made my decision of what limb I would want to lose. Thanks for watching. For more post-debate analysis, please watch CNN. The debate, folks, is over. It's over. Huh. What is Google Gemini? Hi, I'm Gemini. How can I help you?
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
Oh, is it their AI? Gemini must be Google's response, or Google's AI versus Apple Intelligence. We'll see what that happens when that comes out. Have you ever thought about filling a balloon with your farts? I can't say that I have now. If you went through a toxic cloud, what sense would you like to lose? Wow. A toxic cloud? Let's see. A toxic cloud. La 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 So the debate, the presidential debate is over. Did anyone see the presidential debate? I watched it a little bit, although I was kind of preoccupied with this live and stuff. I didn't really catch everything they had to say on the debate, but yeah, it was a clear it was clearly a free-for-all kind of. Are you getting tired of making fart videos? You don't make many of them anymore. Yeah, a little bit. I get it. It gets tiring. But I'm trying to do more lately. At least I'm trying to do at least one video a day. But today I didn't film one. I try to film one a day. And I'm hoping to get more cameos, to be honest. I am, because of Joe Biden, everything is more expensive. My money doesn't go as far. And I would like to make a few dollars on cameos to help support myself. And I'm offering a product or service in return for people's hard-earned money. I will do a fart video for them, for their family, for their friends, for birthdays, for Hanukkah, for whatever. And I offer that on Cameo. But yeah, I've been it depends on my mood. Sometimes I'm in a mood like like this past week I've been like, oh yeah, I'm going live like every night because I'm feeling good, you know. But other nights I'm like, just going to bed. Fair enough. I'm a broke college student, so it's hurt me to spend people money. It's a hurt for me to send people. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I am on a fixed income, and yeah, I get it. I get it. But like, I mean, back in the day, I was pulling in a good amount of money. Back in the day, a couple years ago. And I don't know if I want to get back to that level again. I was doing like 8-9 fart videos a day. And you know, a good day, like a slow day would be maybe 4. But you know, one a day. If I could do one paid video a day, I think that would be sufficient for me. And I'm not there yet, and I'd like to get back there. Don't strain yourself. No. Do you do doodle drawings? No, I'm not good at art. I'm horrible. I don't do drawings or art or anything now. Never been good at art now. I just missed the manly butt blast at funny videos. Yeah, I try to do one a day now. That's my not my limit, but still talk to Jerry. Yes, I do. In fact, talk to Jerry on a regular basis. Yeah, he stops by on a regular basis. Yep. Jerry's a good guy. Both standing here And from times gone past, it's clear. Finally found someone I know is near. I won't be lonely all of my lifetime. Sad. Have you ever, or would you ever participate in a farting contest? I don't know. I guess. You know, that'd be cool. A fart contest.